Good morning, my friends. It's Hammer. Today is Wednesday, March 5th, 2025. I, of course, am here with the Daily Mortgage Rate Update, the only place on the web where we talk about what's going on in the markets, what's affecting rates and pricing, and when's a good time to lock in your loans. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, broadcasted to you this morning from the very windy Smoky Mountains, broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube. It's been a windy 12 hours. Man, I got a couple of trees down. I've got my little portable shed. Third one bit the dust. I am sad to say that I have done this 3 times. But this time it was really firmly attached to the ground, but the winds were so strong it ripped the thing up out of the ground and destroyed it. Those little Harbor Freight Shelter Logic type sheds. So anyway, I'm just crying in my cereal this morning, so bear with me. Maybe I'll show you guys a video of my cart flying through the deck. It was a rough night. Didn't get a lot of sleep. So if you're here this morning, say good morning and help me feel better. I appreciate all of you that join me with your smiling faces each and every weekday morning. If you are watching on the replay, don't worry. I appreciate you too. Just go ahead and give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Let Facebook and YouTube know that you were here. Don't forget to smash that like button if you're on Facebook. Tag a little friend or share this post in a group. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. All that good stuff. You guys know how that works. Also, if you want a quick reminder that I'm going live, we send out a text each morning if you'd like the links, and just so you don't miss anything, you can sign up at hmmr.io/reminder or use this cool QR code over here. If you're on your phone, take a screenshot. You can go back to your photos and actually click the link from there. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know that until a little while ago. So I'm still enamored by that. Let's go ahead and say hi to all the live folks. Who do we got here this morning? Let me know that you're here nice and loud, my friends. We've got Mallory Fotiadis first to say hello this morning. Good morning, Mallory. James Mahan, great to see you, sir. Rob Stewart, good morning. Cindy Pulliam, Mike Tebow. I almost feel like I could say these names from memory, all of you that joined me. I appreciate you. I want you to know that. Glenn Boussard, that means you too, my friend. Amy Blauser, good morning. Amy, great to see you participating in the Grab and Go social group as well. So awesome. Allison Foy, good morning. Someone's at the front door. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see. There's no one at the front door. At least I don't see anybody at the front door. Hold on one second. Hello, is anybody there? Hello? Hello? Sorry, y'all. It's a crazy, crazy day. I don't see anybody there. Anyway, that was weird. Let me just keep going. So, hello to all of you that are here. I'm going to dive right in. I made a mess of things already. It's that kind of morning. Seems like they're all that kind of morning, though. So, all right, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff here. Let me just remove the caption. Quick recap. So, yesterday, if you look down here, let me actually get myself out of the way. We'll go full screen and show you what happened. So let me refresh this. Okay. So yesterday you could see here that we were losing ground through the day in the afternoon, and that did lead to quite a few reprices worse. Please let me know in the comments, did you get reprices worse? Yes or no that you saw? But we did send out an alert with our text service. By the way, you can sign up for our text alerts at www.ratelockadvice.com. And in the text alert, I even said there was no need to panic, but anything closing near term that was risk averse that, you wanted to lock up, you could do that. But I wasn't really too worried about where things were going to go from there. And here's why. We saw a recovery this morning. You can see it rebounded right back up. Now, what caused yesterday's comments to sink the ship like this? Basically, they were comments from Lutnick. So let me see. Here you go. So this is, Commerce Secretary Lutnick said Trump may roll back some of the Mexican and Canadian tariffs as soon as today, but conflicting messages are giving consumers in Wall Street whiplash. President Trump may be holding firm on his tariff stance, but his Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick's already hinting at retreat, right? So he talked about that. Let me see, where was I had a really I liked. Here you go. So the Bloomberg article kind of sums it up the best here. And he said, both the Mexicans and Canadians were on the phone with me all day today, trying to show that they'll do better and the president's listening because, he's very, very fair and very reasonable, Letnick said Tuesday in an interview with Fox Business. So I think he's going to work something out with them. It's not going to be a pause, none of that pause stuff, but I think he's going to figure out you do more and I'll meet you in the middle some way. And we're going to probably announce that tomorrow. So when he came out with these comments, what happened was we saw bonds take a little bit of a nosedive and stocks rallied. And you saw that kind of happen here through the day. Nothing to panic about, but that's what caused the reprices yesterday. That's what we were seeing. So this morning, though, we've gone ahead and you can see that recovery. As far as this morning's rate sheets go, they're going to be similar to yesterday's. When pricing was coming out, most rate sheets were coming out. Pricing was right around that 101-ish, 70-ish. We're at 101.65. So there's just a few basis points different from yesterday. So you're going to see rate sheets very similar to what we saw yesterday. However, the 10-year Treasury yield, I want to point this out because this gives us a little bit of insight. We want to watch this closely. Yesterday, the 10-year Treasury yield was at 4.11. When pricing came out. I mean, it was at its absolute low. In fact, here, let's go ahead and change this to the 10-year for a minute, just so we can see this together. So yesterday, as pricing was coming out, it had hit its low point of 4.11, but it spent most of the day around 4.13, 4.14, right? You could see here, and then it moved up higher through the day, ending the day at 4.24, which was the line in the sand. If we go back here, that's actually where that 200-day moving average was. So this red candlestick, let me make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it here. See this red candlestick? That was yesterday. Now remember, the yield is the opposite of your bond pricing. So when we see that yield move higher, hold on, I'm just getting that ready so you can pop my head in here. All right, let me move this back over. Okay, so when we see this yield here move higher, that actually, it was testing this as a resistance level, as support level rather. So when we look at mortgage-backed securities, we want them to move up. And when they drop, the floor is actually support, right? But when you do the yield, it's the opposite. Everything's flipped on its head. So yesterday, we saw that 10-year Treasury yield come up and test 4.24. Now this morning it's back down below and it's at 4.19, but it's not nearly as good as where we were early yesterday. You can see it's still much higher. We want to keep an eye on that. For mortgage-backed securities to improve, you're going to need to see that 10-year Treasury yield drop back a little further again. And we want to make sure it does not break above that 4.24 level right here. If that were to happen, then we would look at locking some loans. It would change our perspective on things. But as of right now, when you take a look at this, basically we want to continue to float them. Yesterday, I did send out the text alert and said, hey, if you've got anything closing in the next, 15 days, 2 weeks, if it's risk averse, you can consider locking. But otherwise, we want to continue floating. The door is open for things to improve. I'm going to go ahead and bounce this back over to the Fannie Mae 6.0 coupon. Why am I watching the 6.0? It doesn't matter whether we watch the 5.5, the 6.0. Really, guys, it doesn't matter at all. They're going to be so close in movement, but it's the one that's closest to what you're going to see pricing on your rate sheets. A couple of other interesting things that we could go over. Trump's speech yesterday, although it definitely highlighted that our politicians can act childish, and I mean both sides of the aisle. This is not a anti-Democrat, anti-Republican. It's an anti-both kind of statement between, just the refusal to clap and decorum. And, it's sad, but this isn't political commentary. I'm not going to spend much time on it. But what we do want to take a look at is when we look at Trump's, I'll come back to that one. That one was interesting to me. This is the ADP thing. We'll come back to that. But Trump's comments, his speech was the longest on record to the joint address, joint house, when you have both parties there. It was over an hour and 40 minutes. The previous long, I think, was an hour and 28 minutes by Clinton. And but in that speech, he really didn't say much that has any effect on mortgage rates. You're not seeing much of a reaction. You could argue that some of this morning's, improvement in bonds could be due to that. I don't really think so. But it's possible. So, but we're not seeing much of a move on that. We definitely want to continue to watch the tariff talk. If we do see talk of the tariffs rolling back, we could see more of what we saw yesterday with a little bit of volatility. Also, it's 9:42 at 10 a.m. We're going to get ISM data, and that if it shows more weakness, it could actually help pricing improve, help bonds improve, and that'll help just as most lenders are coming out with pricing. The other economic data this morning, ADP showed only 77,000 private payroll jobs created. That's the smallest gain since July. However, you can't take any correlation between this data and what we're going to see on the BLS jobs data. So that comes out on Friday. So there's really no move there. Remember, JOLTS data is next week, which is odd. I don't know why, but it is. Well, I do know why it's odd, but I don't know why it's happening. But so this is tomorrow. We'll get unemployment claims, the normal Thursday unemployment claims, and then Friday we have BLS jobs data. So overall, again, I'm still floating as it says down at the bottom of the screen. I think there is room for rate sheets to continue to improve. Also, hey, listing agents everywhere. Sometimes they come in a little high and they got to cut the price a bit. Jeff Bezos's neighbor was asking for $200 million for an empty waterfront lot next to properties owned by Bezos. Bezos owns 3 properties in Indian Creek. This is Florida. I think this is. Does anyone know where Indian Creek is? Indian Creek Village. I think it's I think it's a Palm Springs area. We should probably look it out. But isn't it funny? Listen, man, everybody is feeling the pinch of prices moving higher. Billionaires now pricing out millionaires over in Indian Creek Village. So, we're all feeling the pinch. We're in this together. Even the millionaires, we're all in this together, my friends. But they did cut that by 50 million. Sometimes you got to give it a little bit of a haircut. Maybe instead of that, he should have thought of maybe doing a seller concession, maybe a 2-1 buy down, right? Hey, rather than cutting from 200 million to 150 million for a empty lot. I don't even know how big the lot is. It's probably even like a freaking acre or something stupid. It's funny. I wish you could see the listing, right? So, however, he thinks that Resnick thinks that he's going to get some activity there. So, hey, you got to give him credit for being positive on that, right? Let's see what else is up here that we should talk about. We talked about ADP already. Sorry, this is crazy wind outside. So, looks like we got everything. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, my friends. Hope you all have a fantastic one. I'll see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.